Oi, pessoal. Vamos entrando. Vou esperar o pessoal entrar um pouquinho para começar a dar os avisos. Então, hoje a nossa live vai ser sobre marketing e teleatendimento no MDT. Daqui a pouquinho eu vou convidar o Yoav. Vamos ver aqui. Então eu vou esperar mais uns minutinhos para começar a dar os avisos. Oi, Glycon. Oi, Bruna. André. Rodrigo, Éder. Parabéns, Éder. Comemoração de aniversário hoje. Na live aqui com a gente. Boa noite, Rodrigo. Rodrigo Garcia também entrando. Yoav, I know you're there. I'll invite you in a second. So, I'm gonna start giving the announcements. Pessoal, então, essa live não tem nenhuma relação com o Instituto Mackenzie do Brasil. Essa live, essa série de lives foram organizadas por um grupo de WhatsApp que foi criado em 2013 por fisioterapeutas que começaram a certificação no método Mackenzie. Então, esses fisioterapeutas que tiveram a iniciativa de criar essas lives para trazer tanto conteúdo e coisas legais pra gente, especialmente nessa quarentena. Oi, Gui, boa noite. E então foram organizadas pelo Éder e pelo André. Parabéns para eles, né, que tiveram essa iniciativa tão legal e a gente está conseguindo aprender e trocar tantos conhecimentos com essas trocas de experiências. Amanhã teremos a live do Silvio Xavier com Rodrigo Vasconcelos, às 8 horas, horário de Brasília, e eles vão falar sobre MDT e saúde baseada em valor. E na sexta-feira teremos a live com Rodrigo Garcia e com o nosso mestre José Liberato, também às 20 horas de Brasília. A live será transmitida no perfil do Liberato e amanhã a live será transmitida no perfil do Silvio. Então, só para explicar rapidamente como é que vai funcionar. A gente selecionou umas perguntas previamente que os fisioterapeutas que participam desse grupo mandaram. Então, a minha conversa com o Yoav no primeiro momento vão ser com relação a essas perguntas e sobre o tema, que é o marketing e o teleatendimento no MDT. E eu vou fazer as perguntas para ele em português e depois em inglês, para todo mundo entender. E ele vai responder em inglês e eu vou traduzir a ideia geral da pergunta. O inglês dele é bem fácil de entender, ele fala bem pausadamente, bem declarado, então eu acho que não vai ter problema. Espero que todo mundo consiga entender. E qualquer coisa, eu tô à disposição para responder qualquer dúvida. E para a gente poder concentrar mais nessa tradução e nessa conversa, eu vou fechar o chat. E aí eu só vou abrir ele no final para novas perguntas. Então o pessoal vai anotando as perguntas aí e pode mandar quando eu abrir o chat. Ou se quiser mandar também naquele pontinho de interrogação que tem, ela vem direto para mim e eu leio depois. Então, conforme o tempo que sobrar no final, a gente vai responder essas perguntas, tá? Então, deixa eu acelerar, porque a gente já perdeu alguns minutos aí. Deixa eu ver o que mais que eu estou esquecendo. Vai ficar salvo no meu IGVT depois, para o pessoal acompanhar. Então, eu vou chamar o nosso convidado, o Yoav. Ele é diplomado no método Mackenzie e professor do Instituto Internacional do Instituto Internacional dos Estados Unidos, desculpa, e tem a sua clínica privada em Miami Beach. Então deixa eu já aceitar, deixa eu convidar ele. Vamos ver se ele tá aqui. Aqui. Yoav, I'm inviting you can accept now. There we go. There he is.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Hi,
Great.
everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Excited for our conversation here. So, I was just introducing you a little bit, and I'm gonna ask the first question in Portuguese, and then I'm gonna translate to you, okay?
Sure.
First of all, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We are very excited and happy to have you here, sharing your knowledge and taking the time to talk with us. I'm sure everybody's excited. So
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So let's start. Primeira pergunta. Eu vou perguntar como é que... vou pedir para ele se apresentar, falar um pouquinho da carreira dele, da história dele e do que ele tem feito recentemente, para o pessoal entender um pouquinho, quem não conhecer ele, ter uma ideia de quem que ele é e o que ele faz. Então, Yoav, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your career, and what are you up to these days? Just to give us some background for the people that may not know you.
Okay. Started my career, came to America from Israel in 1995, started as a personal trainer in New York City. Unfortunately, I made a lot of mistakes as a trainer. Those of you who have been taking the courses, you're familiar with patients who are complaining of tight leg. They feel like it's their hamstring or tight piriformis. And as a trainer, I always recommended certain stretches. I never realized the difference between neurological or nerve pain and muscle pain. I also encourage a lot of my clients to strengthen their core. I thought that was the best thing to keep someone from having back pain and to maintain good posture. And unfortunately, some of my clients, not only they did not get better, some of them got worse, and I was upset. When NYU started their doctoral program in physical therapy, I joined in 2000. And after graduating NYU, I felt that I have better knowledge of biomechanics, anatomy, physiology. I went to work for one of my professors, and among other course I took was Mackenzie Part A with Dana Green, and that was in New York. And I was blown away of the magnitude and the tools I got in this course to allow me as a therapist to help my patients so much faster and to convince them not to do 7 exercises a day, but to do 1 exercise a day throughout the day, every 1 to 2 hours, and teaching the patient to understand what it is that they're looking for, not just to move and do general, exercises. And that led me also to take Part B. And that's when I really saw the light and fell in love completely with MDT, because I myself had 8 months of intermittent left neck, left upper trapezius, left shoulder blade with intermittent symptoms into my arm. And after Part B, although initially those of you who have taken Part B, I thought my answer is going to be in the sagittal plane. And as I'm working in the sagittal plane, I actually got worse.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so those of you who want to type in, what do you think I am if I got worse in the sagittal plane? All right, and so when I found my directional preference, All right, people are starting to type in.
Yeah, I just opened the chat. I had closed, but I'll open so people can interact.
Good. So when I found my direction, because when someone has left-sided pain, what I always did was stretch to the right. I always played piano on my upper trapezius. I had a Theracane to get rid of my trigger points. I always like leaning against the door to alleviate the rhomboids or the upper traps or whatever it is. I thought it was muscular. And I was blown away in this course to learn that my reductive force was lateral flexion initially. I needed to start, I'm a posterior lateral with a relevant lateral component.
Someone got it.
Yes, I can see that. And so, yes, perfect. So I'm a posterior lateral, relevant lateral. And when I started, who in their mind would think you need to move into the pain? Most of the world, when they have back pain, hug the knees to the chest, bend forward to stretch their back. When they have neck pain, we all love to stretch. And so I got into this method by fixing myself. And once you feel it, and everyone that's listening to us, every therapist that has gone through the training, whether it's with Jose or anyone else, you're like, wow, how come the world doesn't know about it? So I got excited. And so my career path took me into taking more and more courses, doing my diploma in Austin, Texas, with Scott Herbawi, my mentor, and Mark Miller. And then, from then on, I continued to move down to Miami. I'm now in Miami Beach, COVID central right now. I know in Brazil you're having a lot of issues as well, but Miami is pretty bad right now as well. And I opened my own business here in Miami about 12 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Almost 11 years ago, and never looked back. I am a faculty with the McKenzie Institute USA, and all I do is MDT.
Nice, nice. I already know your background. I'm just going to briefly translate to everybody the main points, okay? So just a second.
Take your time.
Então, ele falou que ele se mudou, ele é de Israel, se mudou para os Estados Unidos em 1995 e ele começou a trabalhar como personal trainer. E ele não conseguia ajudar tantas pessoas, ele piorou alguns dos clientes dele. E aí ele resolveu fazer fisioterapia. E aí depois disso ele começou o Mackenzie, ele ficou impressionado com o curso, com os resultados. E aí na parte B, que realmente foi o que para ele fez toda a diferença, que ele tinha dor na lateral esquerda do pescoço, irradiando para o braço. E aí, na parte B, ele achou a solução para a dor dele e que não era no plano sagital, ele era um lateral relevante, que melhorou com retração, inclinando para a lateral esquerda. E ele falou que como que o mundo inteiro não sabe disso, né? Que quem que imaginar que movendo para o lado da dor fosse melhorar. Então, ele foi se encantando com o método. E ele ele fez o diploma dele, ele virou professor do instituto e ele abriu a clínica dele em Miami 11 anos atrás, a clínica particular dele em Miami. E foi isso, em resumo. Okay, next, let's go to the next question. In Portuguese first, como podemos divulgar e vender o MDT para o público e para as empresas? So how can we market MDT to the public and to companies?
First of all, what I recommend for the therapist to do is to offer free educational talks about what mechanical pain is. And you can look at all my lectures that I have online, whether YouTube or Vimeo, about how to create an educational talk. You look for a local gym or a health club or a country club or a golf resort, any church you can offer an educational talk. And all you got to do is educate the listener. Just put a poster, say, I would like to offer an educational talk about mechanical pain. explain what it is that you do, because the public don't understand what mechanical pain is. People think of us, at least here in America, as physical therapists. They think of us as someone who just does electric stimulation, ultrasound, and some exercises. No, I teach my patients how to take care of themselves, how to adjust their own body. And so that's as far as the public goes. So free educational talks. And then after the educational talks, I tell people, if you want to see me, I owe you. People always at the end of the lecture, the end of the talk, what should I do for my sciatica? What should I do for my neck pain? What should I do for my elbow pain? What should I do for my knee pain? I owe you a solid evaluation. We're going to meet in my office, you and I. It's going to be a full evaluation assessment. I'm going to move you around because the recommendation I'm going to give you may not work for her or for him. And so, you need your own customized program. That's as far as the public go. As far as companies, how did I get into companies? All of you are treating people, or you have clients, patients that own companies. And what you need to do is to offer those educational talks within the company. So it could be someone who is packaging flowers. It could be someone who is doing sheet metal fabrication for trucks. It could be someone who's supermarkets. All you got to do is get in, and before you know it, when you offer educational talk to the employees, you're going to do it also for the management. And those CEOs are talking to other CEOs. And what I bring to a company is knowledge of how to keep their employees from getting injured, from taking time off from work. So I'm offering CEOs a full package of education to the executive suite, to the people at the top, as well as to the people that are working, let's say a hotel. So I'll train everyone in the executives of the hotel, as well as anyone that's working, from the valet, from the people who are in the front desk, housekeeping, people that work at the pool, whoever it is. Educational talks, and then I offer a discounted rate for those employees who want to come to see me. They will come through a discounted rate, and I do those organizational talks on monthly basis. My next one is coming up next month, and I'm going to be talking to about 35 CEOs of companies. Oh, wow. And all started by speaking to CEOs who are now sharing, because a lot of CEOs of companies belong to groups where they share knowledge with other CEOs. And if one of them says, hey, I brought this person to my company to teach my employees how to take care of themselves, someone else will say, well, that's a brilliant idea. Let me bring Yoav in. So that's how I got into the corporate world.
That's super exciting. I think it's hard for most of us PTs, this part of the marketing, how to sell yourself and the McKinsey. So I think they're all great tips. I'm going to share with everybody now in Portuguese.
Okay.
So, primeiro, resumindo, como divulgar para o público? Oferecer discursos sobre educação, educando as pessoas sobre o que é dor mecânica. Então, ele falou em resorts de golfe, em igrejas, country clubs, qualquer lugar desses, se oferecer para fazer palestras. E aí, quando as pessoas se interessam mais e vão perguntar, oferecer uma avaliação. Fala assim, eu te devo uma avaliação, porque cada um é diferente, eu preciso fazer um tratamento individualizado e no meu consultório eu vou te dar a devida atenção e vou te avaliar e te ajudar. E para as empresas, ele também oferecia essas palestras educacionais e ele falou que pode ser qualquer tipo de empresa, desde supermercados, hotéis, pessoas que fazem flores, e para todos os tipos, os empregados e os managers, as pessoas que estão mais altas na administração. Então, oferecer pacotes educacionais para todo mundo, toda a hierarquia do negócio. E ele falou que ele faz isso todos os meses. E ele falou que ele vai dar uma palestra agora para 35 CEOs, os que administram tudo de empresas. E essas pessoas participam de grupos. E nesses grupos, eles compartilham conhecimento, eles falam, ele veio aqui, tentou ensinar os meus empregados como prevenir lesões, para tentar perder menos dias de trabalho, e aí as pessoas começam a se interessar e assim tu vai ganhando várias empresas. Então, em resumo, foi isso. Okay, next question, Yoav. I just have to give a little background to everybody about insurance, the difference between insurance in Brazil and in US. So I'm going to start in Portuguese.
Okay.
Então, agora, a próxima pergunta vai envolver os planos de saúde. Nos Estados Unidos, os planos de saúde cobram diferente do Brasil. Então, nos Estados Unidos é cobrado por unidade. Então, eu fiz terapia manual, eu cobro uma unidade, 15 minutos. Eu fiz exercícios terapêuticos, outra unidade. Modalidades, ultrassom, eletroterapia. Então, é um pouco diferente do que no Brasil. Então, a pergunta seria, sendo o MDT um tratamento diferenciado, seria viável oferecer este serviço às operadoras de saúde a um valor diferenciado? So, Yoav, so just to give you some background, in Brazil, the insurance companies, they pay different rates based sometimes on the technique you are using. So they wanted to know, with MDT being a more specialized technique, how would you go about requesting a higher reimbursement rate from the insurance companies?
Good question, because in my clinic, I actually chose not to accept insurance. I treat myself as a very, very good lawyer. When you go to Brazil to a very good attorney, you don't worry about insurance. And so I treat myself as someone that's going to give you the solution to take care of your own pain. And there is no one that can tell me how much I should get paid to assist someone in getting rid of their problem. So I actually never went through the insurance route. I never applied for a Medicare number, because I know that MDT is on its own planet. And to justify to insurance companies what is it that I do, and to accept, to ask for a higher reimbursement for a specialized method, for me was always a no, because I know that if I can get rid of your pain, you will be willing to see me regularly until I resolve it. And I tell people the average is 6-7 visits. And so, if what I would do if I were them, someone that has to go through insurance, well, let me divide the answer into two. Option one, what I would do, let's talk about the insurance first. I would ask patients to write letters to strengthen my point, write letters to a specific email or a person in the insurance company to say, this person has helped me tremendously in 4 or 5 visits. They taught me what to do to fix myself. And so get the patients to be your support group. And then the other answer, what I would do is try to understand what it is that the insurance companies are looking for. Unfortunately, and you and I discussed it in our webinar, unfortunately here, insurance companies in America are not interested in saving money. So I would not go after I can save you money, because they're making money by a person paying ongoing every year or every month. We're paying premiums. And if we save an insurance company money, there's no reason for them to tell the public, oh, we are going to reduce your premium in 2021. No, they always say, due to the increase in healthcare costs, we have to up your premium. So try to understand what it is that they will do. And again, I think having the patient help you in the process will be probably the best way to go about doing it. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I don't have a 100% answer on this particular topic.
Yeah, I think it's complicated because they're not gonna give us the value we deserve with all the specialization courses, studies that we go through. I don't think they are never gonna meet the same standard that we do in our treatment. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give them the main idea.
Sure.
Então ele dividiu a resposta em duas opções. A opção número 1 seria pedir ajuda aos pacientes para eles escreverem cartas dizendo como foi o tratamento, como foi bom, como você ajudou o paciente durante o tratamento. E a segunda opção é entender o que os seguros buscam, o que eles estão atrás. E ele falou que aqui nos Estados Unidos, os seguros, os planos de saúde não estão interessados em economizar, porque eles não têm uma desculpa para aumentar o valor que tu paga todo ano para o plano de saúde. Então, se eles economizam, eles não conseguem aumentar esse valor. Então, eles não têm interesse em MDT aqui. E ele falou que ele não aceita plano de saúde, nenhum convênio, que ele fala que ele oferece a solução para o paciente dele e ele acha que ninguém pode te dizer o quanto tu pode cobrar, o quanto tu deve cobrar do teu atendimento. E ele falou que ele acha que o Mackenzie, o MDT, tá num planeta diferente e que ele não se encaixa nesse padrão de plano de saúde e que ele diz que a média de visitas, ele acredita que sejam umas 6, 7 visitas por paciente. Então, resumindo, é isso. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next question, Yoav, in Portuguese first. So, a pergunta de uma colega nossa foi: você tem um sistema para controlar os resultados dos tratamentos dos seus pacientes? Como, por exemplo, o número de sessões, tempo de tratamento, diagnóstico, o quanto eles melhoraram, para mostrar para uma empresa ou um plano de saúde os bons resultados? Yoav, so do you have a system that you use to track your patients' treatment results? Number of visits, treatment time, diagnosis, and improvements that you then would be able to present good results to companies and health insurance?
I personally do not keep outcomes. That's just not how I work. But those of you who are familiar with Mark Miller, a good friend of Jose, his company is doing excellent work in keeping outcome. They're seeing thousands of patients. They're working within large companies. My take on that is, and again, keeping outcomes is really important. It's beneficial. But I've had success by speaking the truth. I've had success to get into companies by doing those free educational talks. And now, if I go, let's say, to Nashville, and I give an educational talk to a company, which I did, 200 employees, and then employees are getting injured, obviously I'm here in Miami, I cannot treat them, but I found them a local, reputable, certified clinic that's taking care of the employees that are injured there. And so I make the connection between the companies. And so if an employee is injured, they contact that certified McKenzie clinic, they go there and they keep track of all their outcomes.
Nice. So we already talked about the Mark Miller before, so I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows about it. And I know they do a great job of keeping that. I have a question right after that, but I'll ask you later. Então, o que ele falou que ele não mantém os resultados, ele não acompanha, ele não tem um sistema para isso. Ele falou que o sucesso dele é baseado em falar a verdade para o paciente, mas que o Mark Miller tem um sistema que eles desenvolveram. Depois a gente coloca o link e fala o nome da companhia deles. E eles mantêm todos os dados de milhares de pacientes que eles atendem para fazer esse trabalho. Eles trabalham com grandes empresas oferecendo o Mackenzie. E ele disse que ele faz essas palestras para grandes empresas em outros locais. Por exemplo, ele citou em Nashville, que não é onde ele mora, é onde eu moro. E quando essa empresa está interessada em contratar o Mackenzie, ele conecta com alguém certificado da região. Então, essa foi a resposta dele. Okay, so now it's my question. So, do you think there is a way that us physical therapists can have access to this data to help us to support our treatment? Or is that something you have to create on your own while you are seeing your patients and keep track of your results and using your forms?
Are you talking about like IMC's data, like the
IMC or even the Mackenzie Institute, because I know they do some researches and all of that. I just don't know if we have access to some more concrete data or something that we could use.
So I don't know if you can get, because that's really, you know, the blood and tears of any company that keeps outcome. That's their own proprietary information. But I would encourage people to contact IMC because they did publish a study that showed a significant reduction. I believe it was close to 52% reduction in healthcare cost in a large, well-known tire company in America, an international company called Michelin. And, you know, they did mechanical care versus community care. And they show the benefits, the reductions in x-rays, MRIs, medication, injection, surgery. So when you go to any company, you can take that piece of paper, and that's, you know, and there's more companies that are interested now and already are jumping in to do case studies and to do trial periods to see how MDT can help their bottom line. Because for most companies, you know, physical therapists, we were always those that just kind of like got the patient better, but we didn't really connect how we can come in and help their bottom line, how we can come in, train the employees in proper body mechanics, what to do before, during, and after a shift. So I would follow what IMC data as far as what it was published. I would follow that, and I'm sure you can get an in to any company with that information by itself.
Yeah, so I think on their website, they have these graphics showing that. So that's a starting point that you can go through. Okay, I'm gonna explain them now.
Sure.
Eu perguntei para ele como que a gente pode usar esses dados, se tem algum lugar que a gente pode acessar alguma pesquisa do Mackenzie, ou mesmo a IMC, que é esse instituto do Mark Miller, que tem esses dados. E ele falou que eles publicam algumas pesquisas, que tem alguns dados no site deles, alguns estudos de caso também, e que ele nos encoraja a procurar essas informações no site deles e procurar os estudos que eles publicaram. Okay, next question. In Portuguese first. O Instituto Mackenzie dos Estados Unidos promove algum tipo de propaganda para órgãos públicos e privados sobre a eficácia do MDT? O Instituto está desenvolvendo pesquisas que mostram que podemos reduzir os custos? Does the USA Mackenzie Institute promote any type of advertisement or marketing to the public and to private institutions about the Mackenzie's benefit or efficiency? Is the Institute developing researches to show that the method can reduce costs?
So there are a lot of informational webinars on the Mackenzie Institute USA. But remember, on the USA website, you can find a lot of information there, but it's an educational institute. The important thing for the Institute is to market our courses to therapists. The Institute doesn't go after companies. The Institute goes after therapists who are graduating PT school. And, you know, in America, and I'm not sure how it is in Brazil, every 2 years, you got to have, 24 continuing education credits. And so, and not in every country. There's countries in the world where you are a therapist and that's it. You don't have to take any courses to maintain your license. So, when I teach, I tell students, you think you paid money for your physical therapy, whether it's doctorate, whatever it is, doctorate in physical therapy or physical therapy diploma program, but that's only the beginning, because now you have to choose a path, and the path is going to be, and there's 25 different methods out there. You can learn to do dry needling, you can do Syriacs and Kaltenborn and myofascial release by Barnes, and you can do millions of options, right? So the Mackenzie Institute USA is focused on getting the students into our courses. And we have to convince the students of the benefit of using MDT in the clinic. And what I often say when I teach is, don't just take part A, B, C, D, get credential and say, I'm certified Mackenzie, and now move to the next method. When you become credentialed, you should take part C 3 to 4 times. You should audit part D 3 to 4 times. Whenever you have an opportunity to take the courses again, you will learn and you will connect more and more dots in your head, as I did, by diving into this method and spending time perfecting it. MDT it seems very simple, but it's not. There's a lot that comes with it. There is a lot in convincing a patient to do a home exercise program and to check their baselines on their own during the day. You're basically teaching someone to become their own therapist. And so we market to the therapists, we don't market to organizations.
Yeah, we already talked about that, the repeating the courses on my podcast before. And I think that's great. And I think it's like a continuum process, always learning, always improving. I don't think in Brazil it is not a requirement, as far as I know, to do the continuing education. So that's different here. And I think that's great, because it's good for the therapist, it's good for the profession and for the patient. So we make sure that the professionals are always up to date and always looking for something new, studying, trying to improve their skills, right?
And if there is no, if there's no demand to take courses, come to international conferences, come to as many conferences as you can, and dive into speaking with the professionals, speaking with the faculty. If you come to, if you come to the United States from Brazil, do a vacation, a course plus a vacation with your family. All those are important points. And after, my boss in the past said, I'm not paying you to take so many Mackenzie courses. I said, fine, I'll pay for it with my own money. I stayed in my own hotel. No one paid for it. I flew by myself. I just so wanted to learn. I couldn't stop learning this. And so also I encourage to take with multiple instructors. You will learn from multiple instructors. Every course, we have excellent faculty, and every course you will hear something that will completely change your, whether it's your educational process or how you teach your patient to do certain things. So I encourage people to audit and retake the courses.
I think that's huge, because when the process of that you are learning, you are having the first contact with the method. It's so much new information, even on your first part C or D. And every time that you retake it, you learn so much more. It's huge. Like, the difference is
exactly.
It's impressive. Okay, I'm going to just give them the main idea.
Sure.
Então, que ele falou que o Instituto, ele é responsável pela parte educacional, né? E trazer informação para os terapeutas, mostrar os benefícios do método para os terapeutas e convencer eles a fazerem o curso. E que o Instituto não vai atrás de empresas, de planos de saúde para tentar mostrar os benefícios. Ele disse que o Instituto também oferece bastante webinars, que são bem informativos, que a gente conhece, né? Eu acho que aqui todo mundo já participou. Ele disse que nos Estados Unidos, a cada 2 anos, tem que fazer créditos para ter de educação continuada para renovar a licença, que eu acho que no Brasil, né, a gente não tem isso. E ele falou que ele aconselha todo mundo a repetir a parte C e a parte D muitas vezes, mesmo depois de se certificar, que cada vez que tu repete, tu aprende muito, e fazer com diferentes instrutores também ajuda a ter uma visão diferente. E mesmo que tu não vá para cursos e para conferências, tá sempre tentando estar em contato com o Mackenzie, com diferentes profissionais, enfim, é isso. Okay, next question. Our marathon here, translating and answering. I hope everybody's understanding. I don't know if I'm doing a good job, but
it sounds to me like you're doing a great job.
Okay, the first in Portuguese. So, nos Estados Unidos, são utilizadas muitas ferramentas de marketing para divulgar os serviços? E se sim, quais? Okay, so regarding marketing your clinic and its service, what are some marketing tools and platform available? And which one do you use?
The most important, as I mentioned before, my biggest, I don't advertise in newspapers. I don't advertise on the internet except for social media here and there. But my biggest thing is word of mouth as a result of patients that came to see me, because I do those free educational talks. I look for any opportunity to get into a dental, okay, for example, today I was at a dentist office and I saw that the receptionist was going like this. I said, what's going on with your neck? She's like, oh, it just bothers me. Just, we spoke quickly and I said, that's what I do. That's my specialty. And then I told her boss, who treated me afterward, I said, I'll be happy to come to your office and offer a free educational talk to all your staff, 8 people. And then, we'll do it in the next week or so. I come in with my laptop, with my spine models, with the treat your own back, treat your neck book, and I'm giving a free educational talk. Probably the lady that I saw rubbing her neck today is going to come to my office. And if she's happy, she is seeing patients coming to the dentist office. They're going to have a stack of my business card. And when she looks into the waiting room and sees another person goes like this, or another person going to the dentist, getting up from the office, from the waiting room chair with a stiffness in the back, I train her to ask, hey, do you also have back pain? I notice it's difficult for you. And she's a receptionist at a dental office. And so you can duplicate this. I've done it at a veterinarian office where I gave a free educational talk to veterinarian staff. I did it for a real estate company, 2 real estate companies recently. I did it for a cruise line. I do it for hotels. So you get in and you offer for the staff this educational talk, 45, 50 minutes, what mechanical pain is, what is the line of work that I do. Then whoever comes to see me, they know this is usually my rate. Because you're coming from the dentist office, you're going to pay this rate, which is significantly less. But now they have my business cards waiting, in their office. And so when they're in touch, so, in America, it's very common to take a doctor out for lunch or to buy bagels and bring lunch to the doctor's office. I've never done it. I always look for something outside the box. What can I do? Who do I know in my neighborhood that needs to know about what I do? And so it could be a gym. You maybe know a trainer in the gym and you can ask the trainer or, to get you in with a few trainers. I got a few trainers who came into my office. I do it for a furniture company for Relax the Back. They came, all their staff came in and got trained about what mechanical pain is because I'm helping them sell their products. And when someone comes to the store and say, I have sciatica, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, whatever. They're like, hey, go see this guy. And then they call me. Not only that, if I give them a letter of medical necessity, which I can as a physical therapist, the patient doesn't pay 7% sales tax. So they're getting a discount on the store purchase. So it becomes a beautiful symbiotic relationship. And all you got to do is just think outside the box.
That's so smart. I'm so impressed with you. You see the opportunity, you take it, and then you got on the dance, wherever you are, you just
I never
see
stop.
it.
How my brain works.
Yeah.
I never stop. But it's easy when you love it, because my brain is like, how come the whole world doesn't know what MDT is? It's like, I'm going to whoever's going to be the next president, we have to get this out there. It's so powerful. It's so beneficial. It's so empowering for the public, especially now during COVID. How many people are afraid to leave their house and are requiring our assistance? So telehealth, which I don't know if you have a question coming up on telehealth.
Yeah, we have. Next
so I'll keep that. Okay, I'll keep that. I'll let you translate. We'll keep it for that.
Yeah, I think we have to learn with you. Sometimes you're shy. We don't know how to, approach people and talk about it. I love it that it seems so natural to you. I was like, we have to learn from you. I think that's amazing. I'm gonna translate now.
Sure.
Então, ele falou que ele não usa jornal, que ele usa redes sociais, mas que o maior meio de divulgação dele é de boca em boca. E com essas palestras que ele dá, então, onde ele vê uma oportunidade, ele oferece essas palestras gratuitas. Ele deu o exemplo de que ele estava no dentista hoje, que a recepcionista colocou a mão no pescoço, dizendo que estava com dor. E aí, ele começou a falar com a dentista, perguntar por que ela estava com dor no pescoço. Falou com o chefe dela, ofereceu essa palestra educacional. E ele já vai fazer nas próximas semanas lá. E daí eles deixam o cartão dele na recepção. E aí, todos os clientes que estão lá no consultório do dentista, se eles perceberem que alguém está com dor, provavelmente eles vão falar dele. E aí mais gente vai vir para o consultório dele. E assim ele começa a girar os pacientes dele. Ele oferece desconto para quem vem do dentista, por exemplo. E as palestras duram em torno de 45 a 50 minutos. E ele faz em hotéis, em escritórios, para veterinários, para todos os tipos de pessoas, aonde ele vê uma oportunidade, ele vai lá e faz isso. E ele falou que ele não convida médicos para almoçar, não leva presentes, comida para os médicos, que ele tem que pensar fora da casinha e achar jeitos diferentes de fazer o marketing dele. Então, resumindo, é isso. Okay, let's jump to the telehealth question now that we talked before. Okay, first in Portuguese. So, qual é a maior diferença entre o MDT e outras técnicas, especialmente agora, durante o coronavírus? So, what is the big difference between MDT and other techniques, especially now, during the COVID-19? And why do we have a solution to a worldwide mechanical problem?
The biggest difference is that we teach the patient to take care of themselves. And especially now when so many people are hanging out at home with bad ergonomics, with lack of knowledge of how to use technology, we can, and look, the majority of patients, about 70% of patients can treat themselves with patient-generated forces, as we know. So, and that's one of the beautiful things. It's empowering the patient as well as it's a safe method. So now during COVID, we have the ability with our phone, with our iPads, with our laptop, to get into the patient's home and to see their environment, where they're watching television, where they're working, how do they sit in their car, how do they, their whole environment. I just saw a few days ago a patient who she and her husband showed me the living room, and the sofas were so low, deep and low. And he's complaining that he can barely enjoy a movie every night because to get up from the sofa is like, I get so stiff. I was able to see it through telehealth and make some recommendations. She did not want to buy a new sofa, so we just, we compromised by creating. I told her, go to any. Everyone is hungry for work these days. Go to any carpenter, create a base, and elevate your cushions, onto that base. Basically, it was deep, low cushions on the floor. So I gave them strategies. He took the phone into the car, and we adjusted how she was sitting. She was sitting with her headrest like so, and he was holding the phone. We moved the headrest. We aligned the wheel. We raised the mirror so she can sit upright, and when she slouches, she cannot see into the mirror. So we talked about that. I mean, MDT is full of practical, common sense tips and strategies. Every person on the planet experiences mechanical pain. It is the most common pain a human being will feel in their lifetime. So all we have to do is just show what mechanical pain is and how we can how we can help the patient access the solution, and it can be easily done via telehealth. Now, if there's a need to do hands-on, obviously patient will come to the office, but remember, doesn't matter how good your hands are, you can be a magician and have excellent techniques, manual techniques. The damage occurs when your patient leaves your office, and you owe it to your patient to give them strategies to know what to do when they wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and their neck doesn't turn, where they all of a sudden develop a shift. They need to know what to do. So telehealth is absolutely a wonderful way to complement what we do on daily basis in the practice.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And now with everything that's going on, I think you're gonna see more and more people starting to treat to telehealth. And I think we are in advantage comparing to them, because I think we have the tools, we already have the training, and people that are relying on manual therapy, I think it's super complicated for them now, because they don't even know, they don't have the reasoning, the thinking that we have structure in our minds with the McKenzie assessment and all of that. So I think that's huge for us from the MDT. I think it's a great opportunity to go and take the market, and as you said, everybody's gonna have at some point mechanical pain. So I think that's huge for us, and I hope that we take advantage of the situation that's happening right now. Ok, going to translate now.
Ok.
Então, ele falou que 70% dos pacientes podem se tratar com forças geradas por eles mesmos, e que o Mackenzie ensina os pacientes como cuidarem de si mesmo, como se tratarem, sobre a ergonomia, dar estratégias e dicas, né? E ele acha que é muito importante agora com o telehealth, que a gente pode entrar na casa dos pacientes e conseguir analisar o ambiente onde eles estão melhor. Então, ele deu o exemplo de um cliente dele que o sofá era extremamente baixo na casa, e ele sugeriu para eles criarem uma base para elevar o sofá, porque eles não queriam comprar outro sofá. Então, ele falou que conseguir dar essas estratégias para o paciente resolver o problema dele é muito poderoso. E ele disse que a dor mecânica é a mais comum, né? É do mundo, que todo mundo vai sentir algum dia. E que se o paciente precisar de hands-on, de terapia manual mesmo, que ele vai para o consultório, mas que ele falou que o problema é quando o paciente sai do consultório. E aí ele precisa aprender a lidar com o problema dele. Então, ele acredita que dar essas estratégias que o MDT consegue nos dar para educar o paciente é muito importante e nos dá vantagem com o telehealth, com os teleatendimentos. Okay, we have 5 minutes, Yoav, so I have just one more question. I think that's going to be quick. I'm going to ask in Portuguese first. Nos Estados Unidos, sempre foi permitido o uso do teleatendimento? Has telehealth always been allowed in US?
No, actually, Google created a program, I think it was called Google Health. I was part of it 8-9 years ago, and it failed because every state has its own laws and regulation. However, now during COVID, there is more relaxation of monitoring. The goal is, the goal is not to get people infected. So if we now have, every state has a different rules and regulations and laws as far as who can do telehealth. But there are more and more companies and more also insurance companies right now, and you see it with advertisement, that don't go to a dermatologist if you have something on your skin. Call us and you can go straight to the camera and show. Dermatologists will jump up. I mean, there's medical doctors. It's all switching. A lot of it is switching now to telehealth. MDT is built for that. There is no method that I know better in the world of physical therapy that can allow the public to benefit from what Robin McKenzie developed. And so it's about going out there, being confident in what you do, showing results. We all know that the medicine is movement, not medication. Movement is the best medicine. And if we can train people in our office, there's 75% of the patients you can help through telehealth. And I encourage you and I strengthen you to move forward and try to do as much as you can to promote it.
Good. So I believe, I don't know if I'm wrong, but some people were using telehealth prior to COVID, right?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, okay. So it was at you could do it, because I know in Brazil it wasn't allowed. They just allowed now because of the COVID. Mm-hmm. But in US it was allowed, but many people were not using, and insurances were not like reimbursing for the treatments, and that has changed now.
Yes, that's changing.
In many of them. Okay, I'm gonna translate it super quick. We have 2 minutes.
Sure.
Então, ele falou que como tem regras diferentes em cada estado, era mais complicado. Que agora, durante o coronavírus, eles relaxaram um pouco as restrições e tem muitos planos de saúde pagando para usar os teleatendimentos, e que o Mackenzie foi construído para isso, para esses teleatendimentos, e que movimento é o melhor remédio que tem. Então, já tinha gente usando antes, a diferença é que nem todos os convênios estavam pagando. E agora aumentou muito o número de convênios que está pagando pelos atendimentos. E aí agora está todo mundo na expectativa de que quando acabar a pandemia, se eles vão continuar pagando ou não por esses teleatendimentos. Então, resumindo, é isso. Okay, we have 1 minute left. We finished all the questions that we were supposed to do in this first part.
Perfect.
So what do you want to do, Yoav? Do you want to start the second part to allow people to ask questions, or do we stop now? What do you think?
I'm open. If people want to ask questions, I'm open to starting another one if you want. I'll be happy to.
Okay, so let's just give an opportunity for people to ask. We can allow 50 minutes. So if they didn't understand anything that we talked, they have the chance to ask. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Sure. So tell me, how do you want to proceed?
So I'm going to end the live now. I'm just going to take the time to save it to my Instagram, and then I'll start a new one, and then I invite you back.
Perfect.
Gente, a gente vai encerrar agora e eu vou começar outra para permitir o pessoal para enviar as perguntas, tá bom? Até daqui a pouquinho. Todo mundo voltem, por favor. Tem mais coisas boas vindo. Eu vou encerrar agora. Bye, Yoav. See you in a minute.
See you soon. Okay.